Hello, welcome back to another banging episode of Talking That Nonsense with your host, me. Looks like we're on our 46th installment of Talking That Nonsense. Never my wildest dreams, people. Well, today, if you couldn't tell by the title, I think I might want to wrap up the Relationship Rambles, I guess, series. It's literally just been 3 episodes. Sorry, I'm like looking at my phone, so like I don't have my tablet right next to me. But you know, if you, I mean, as long as you don't mind. But let's see. Yeah, we have Relationship Rambles second coming. So we're gonna have it's a 3-part series. Relationship Rambles started all the way down at episode 6. Second installment was episode 26. And now the third coming, well, it's going to be today. So it's going to be um Relationship Rambles, quotes, or bracket, final bracket, open bracket, close bracket. You get the point. But anyway, we're just going to be rambling about relationship stuff. I am, like I said before, one second, let me get my footstool because, yeah, I'm tired. I just got off work not too long ago. If you couldn't tell, CJ's over here in the back. CJ's over there. But, we're just gonna be rambling about relationship stuff today. I mean, like, I'm no Prince Charming, I'm no Cupid, but from the stuff I've learned, from the stuff I've witnessed, I could teach you a thing or two. Not even teach you a thing or two, like I'm some type of old man that's lived half of my life or anything like that. Why are you looking? I live half of my life. But basically, what I'm saying is, sorry, but but basically, what I'm saying is that I don't know. I can give you some tips and tricks, and basically, like, I mean, I've done it before. I've made a video and someone's in a situation, and basically what I've said perfectly describes the situation they're in, or to a degree describes what situation they're in. So basically, I don't know. It's gonna like 99. She's in heat right now, so you're gonna have to pardon her little sassiness. But like I was saying, but like I was saying, a good majority of this stuff, a good majority of this stuff is going to be opinion based. So don't make it seem like I mean, I could come out with 99% facts. And that's really all this channel really is. It's just my opinion. It's my opinion in a very long and hard, that's what she said, nutshell. But basically, but basically, love you too. Go. She's gonna start loafing on my desk. CJ, stop backing up on the mic. Go, go. CJ, CJ, give me one moment. I said, go. I'll be right back. Like back. Back. Okay, we're good now. Now she's twerking all over my book bag. But anyway, let's actually get into the video. Also, I guess there's really no need to mention, but there's no sentence today. You must be wondering why there's no sentence today. No particular reason. I guess I just didn't feel like it. Why am I wearing the black shirt of seriousness? Because this was supposed to be a relatively serious video. Because, hey, we're talking about relationships and emotions. And if there's anything I hate, I don't know, hate's a very strong word. It's people playing with other people's emotions. So why not know the best solution? The best, I guess, prevention for people. The best prevention for people don't play with your emotions. Be able to notice the signs and either A, not get roped into one of those types of relationships, or B, get out of that type of relationship. And I know I'm on here talking about how, oh well, if you're in an abusive relationship, if you're in a relationship you don't like, then leave, then get out. Better said than done. Better said than done. I know. Yanorama. Yeah. Better said than done. I know that. And I know I'm not very tactful in my delivery. Like my deliveries of like, oh, this and that. If you're this, then do that. Because like, I guess I'm being blunt, you know? And most people may, sit back and be like, well, you're telling us the obvious, but you're not telling us how to, well, let's see if I can do that today. I don't know where to start. I don't want to get like too deep into this because I've gone pretty deep in it before about like abuse and the different types of abuse and stuff like that. But basically, I'm just gonna sit here and nitpick. I'm gonna sit there and literally nitpick down to the T. I'm literally gonna nitpick down to the atoms. Okay, so what I'm about to voice is my opinion. I'm literally just about to go on a spiel about how just the little things annoy me and me. I'm not saying this is the standard for everybody else, but I'm saying what I think and what I think. And, and everything I say is objectively correct, obviously. But, because, me and my almighty righteous wisdom. But, anywho, uh, so when you date somebody and then you break up with them, my belief is you shouldn't get back together with that person. Hear me out. This is my opinion. So don't sit there and go, oh, well, I know so-and-so, me and my so-and-so broke up maybe a year ago, and then we got back together a year later, and our relationship's 20 times, but good for you. Good for you. Here CJ comes again. CJ, we are cat free. Now we are cat free. Now basically, back to what we were saying. Jesus. Like basically what I'm saying is, I don't know, that to me that just doesn't, feel right. You know what I mean? I don't know how to describe it. I don't know why I think this way, but I think. And what am I going to say? Oh, with exceptions? In the ultra rare exception. Ultra rare exception. Or like one of those things where like, it's like, oh, well, I love this person really. It's like you're inside one of those controlling, I guess, parental controlled relationships where you're like, oh, well, my mom says I can't date you, so we're gonna have to break up. But I still love you, and I know you still love me, so I'm pretty heartbroken about it. And then, like, maybe a year later, or like maybe a year later, you moved out of the house, or you finally did away with your parents to the retirement home. You reconnect with your ex, and you guys are back together again. Maybe that's literally the only type of exception that I will allow. Only type of exceptions that I will back. You know what I mean? But Ugh. Yeah, 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 yeah. You know, ASMR. Sorry, this is supposed to be serious, but relationships can be a very touchy thing. And you see, I'm trying to like break it up with some silly gagas, but sometimes it doesn't work. But basically, what I think is, since we're ending off this series, let's try to get a little bit serious. Um, to some people, relationships are just a thing to fill the void. To some other people, people actually get into a relationship because they love that person. You know what I mean? Like, I think I've already explained to you the relationship trophy complex. I think it was RTC, relationship trophy complex. Me, no. I can't say, oh, I was a part of the relationship trophy complex ring. Let me explain it to you. The relationship trophy complex is I guess, an equation or an ideology, or I guess you could say idea, and it's basically an idea that I created to put certain type of people in a demographic where they basically date people for their popularity, status, or you know what I mean. Like, oh, I dated. He's like, I dated. I don't know. I dated. I don't know. Phil Filson. Yeah, I dated Phil Filson back in high school only because he was the son of Mark Filson, the principal of the school. So, I mean, I didn't really have too much feelings for him, but I felt like if I dated him, I would have had some special privileges. You know what I mean? Or I dated this or I dated the I don't know, the son's like the mayor's son or something. You know what I mean? Like those type of people. Or well, I dated same thing. I guess some people would call those. I guess this is a more PG version. A more PG. This is annoying me. This is better. I guess that's a more PG version of me saying gold digger. I guess it's a gold digger, but that's what the relationship trophy complex is basically. You treating the relationship as a trophy. You know what I mean? And I mean, hey, I'm all for like the an occasional, yeah, this is my girl, oh, yeah, this is my boy, and I love him a lot. This is mine. Back up. You know what I mean? I'm fine with that. Okay, I'm okay with that. But if you legitimately, like, I'm talking about making that person your whole personality, you know what I mean. You know what I mean? Like those cringy people that are like, oh well, my husband's a trucker, and you wear these like cringy, like really cringy shirts and everything like that, and it's like, oh my dad is like, daddy dropped his load, daddy delivered his load. On his shirt and on her shirt it says like load received. And dude, you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? I mean, like I said, I'm all for it to a degree, but if you go into extreme lengths like that, daddy delivered his load. That's when it gets weird. Or like, you know what I mean? But that's just me taking pride in my husband's work. I commend him for being a police officer. I commend him for being a firefighter. I commend him for being a doctor. I commend him for being a trucker. That's completely fine, but do not turn it into your personality. You know what I mean? Don't rub it in everybody's faces. But there was no but. Butts are for pooping, and there was no but. That insinuates that there's more to add on to that idea, which there isn't. I'm putting my foot down right here. This is where the period is at the script. Boink. That is the end of it. Now, you know, as you can see, I bounce around a lot. Because I just want to basically do a recap on the last two episodes, put them all into one final episode, kind of like a TLDR episode. But there are some things that I've touched upon in those two episodes that I have not touched upon, that I guarantee I won't be able to touch upon in this episode. I guarantee you there are things that I'm saying in this episode that completely contradict things I've said in past episodes. So do not be upset if that is the case. Okay? Because that episode, episode 26 was a while ago. We're in our 40s now. Episode 6 and episode 26 was a while ago. Okay? We're on episode 46 now. So, people change. Ideas change. Opinions change. So, like I said, if the things that I say now do not directly, aren't relevant or aren't the same as what I said in the past, do not come for me. Anyway, so we knocked out the relationship trophy complex. So that's one thing I wanted to mark off. That's one thing that I recapped. 2. Ooh, my finger looks icky. Look how dark my finger is. Icky. I need to wash my hands better. Ew. Look at the dirty band-aid I need to change. I just got back from work. I'll change it in a minute. Ew. But basically, we knocked out the relationship. We gotta get 4 more, okay, before we can end this episode on a sweet note. Second topic that I want to grace upon is I guess we can, I'm going to talk about, to knock one out the way, I'm going to put pity dating. Look at the 3 sections of your finger. First section, pity dating. Second section, yeah, I guess. Maybe I might be able to slide some abuse in there. I guess. Maybe. Possibly. So pity dating. Yeah, let's just go on pity dating. Okay, basically. Pity dating. What does that sound like to you? You dating somebody out of pity. Okay, well, I only dated him. I only dated her because he was suffering. I only dated him because he was sad. I actually didn't have any feelings for him. I just was tired of it. Pity dating is one of the worst things you can do. Do you know why? If that is the case, that there is somebody that is there is somebody that's depressed, there is somebody that is lost, there is somebody that needs somebody in their life, and you are going to swoop in and date them out of pity. Let's say it was their first or second relationship that really flubbernucked them up. Now you gone and swooped in, and you absolutely, and once the deed is done, after you get sick of them or bored of them, you're gonna break up with them. You're gonna completely destroy their perception of what love is like. You know what I mean? You're gonna come out more of a broken man than what you came in as. I don't know. Maybe it's just as I get older, I begin to understand why people want to be with other people. You know what I mean? Because as it's all has to do with, like, I guess everything, Senior year this year, well, yeah, this year, next year. Senior year this year, within my almost 12 years of going to school, I mean, I've slowly seen it. You know what I mean? Elementary school, like kindergarten, first grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, sixth grade, seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. But what I'm trying to get to is basically, like, as those years go on, you see people that basically, I guess, no, dating becomes more prominent, if you know what I mean. You know what? You know what I mean? Like, like in middle school, like in eighth grade, or maybe fifth grade, or sixth grade. Maybe sixth grade is really when it really started to pop. I remember fourth grade farewell, which is basically us graduating from elementary school and into the next 4 years of middle school. Fifth grade was it wasn't as bad as, they said back in elementary school. But sixth grade is when it really started to, it was like, oh, it was one of those light work, no reaction. Light work, no reaction. Like, ooh, a little kick to it. You know what I mean? That's what it was like for me. Um, basically, basically, I, I guess when it came to like relationships and stuff like that, that really became more prevalent around like sixth grade. Okay, so fifth grade was getting settled in. Sixth grade was getting comfortable. And as sixth grade people started to dabble a little bit more. I started to see more of him and him dating, her and her dating. No matter of fact, let me rephrase that. Let me back that up a wee bit because none of that really started to pop off before. It was more like him and her dating, her and him dating, and then it was like popular kids, and then like people started to get into to their cliques or niches or whatever they're called now, or groups or whatever you want to say. So people slowly started to I guess divide themselves. Okay, fifth grade was getting settled in. Sixth grade was basically people had that mentality like, okay, I mean everybody has that mentality, just like how like freshmen is like freshmen move on to I think it was sophomore, junior. Okay, freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. So I hate when freshmen go off to becoming sophomores and they look down on freshmen like they just weren't freshmen years before. But anyway, like I was saying, before I get too sidetracked, fifth grade, you're getting just situated. Sixth grade is when people begin to slowly break off into their groups. Okay, the popular kids are, begin to, I guess the popular kids are, established as the popular kids for the rest of that, for the rest of the 2 years. The undesirable kids are, falling with the undesirables. These people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are undesirables. These are no goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These are the popular kids. These are okay. And the popular kids and the jocks. Usually the sports and like popular kids. The majorettes, cheerleaders. Those like the Venn diagram for them is basically just one big circle with no actual necessary need to section them off from the rest of the things because essentially, ultimately, there are two sides in school. Okay, yeah, sure, people may, break off into their little subdivisions and everything like that. But ultimately, there are two factions in school, okay? There are two factions. Basically, the desired and the undesired, okay? The desired and the undesirables, you know what I mean? Basically, you know, popular, unpopular, ugly, cute. There's literally. So there's those two groups, and within those two groups, there are the subdivisions. Okay, like on the cute side, I'm just going by, I guess what people have. I guess you know what I mean. So like on the cute side, you would have like the cheerleaders, the majorettes, the football players, the sportsmen, the jocks. Okay, these people be on the cute side. The undesirables, like the nerds. I'm just going by what I've heard from people. So if I say something that might offend you, well, first cry about it. And if you're still upset about it, die mad about it. And if you're still upset, by that time you had already cried enough to make yourself a river. So by that time, drown yourself in it. But basically, for the like ugly and the undesirables, you would have sorry people, but band and like people are brutal. Okay, people are brutal in sixth grade. Middle schoolers are devils, but you would have like band and like weird sports. Like I don't know. I've heard some weird stuff like, well, people talk about how soccer's pretty good, but anyway, I've heard like some weird sports like that, and like, the goths and the emos or whatever, you know what I mean? The or a new subdivision. You know how like people are talking about like, oh, when it comes to planets and everything. This is like the greatest way I can describe it. When people talk about like planets and everything, and how like, oh well, Pluto isn't a planet; it's a dwarf planet. It's in a whole different type of category. Basically, a new category that was recently brought, well, not recently set to light, but recently I decided to make official. It's the quiet kids. You know what I mean? The quiet kids. Those would be on the ugly side. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that's when people begin to fall into place. As society was created, everything is going as whoever created the system is going. That's that's just how it is. Um, One second. I'm basically. So I'm getting something out of my finger. ASMR. Dang, it's already 5 o'clock. I remember when it just turned 4 o'clock. Okie dokie. There's nowhere in the world. It's already 5 o'clock. There's nowhere in the world. Okay. But the quiet kids fall under the undesirables. So that's sixth grade. People get into their niches. And essentially, do I need to really explain the last 2 years? Only thing is, I mean, this is pretty. I guess this is pretty close. I guess it all has to do with like maturity and age and people getting older and stuff like that. But as you begin to progress to like middle school and high school, people begin to develop more and more of a stick up their butt. Begin to develop, like, as you go through middle school, you slowly begin to develop that high school mentality of entitlement. Maybe it's just because, they've already been through, like, 75% uh, of the way through school, and they're basically, they've been through a lot. Like I said, when I was a freshman, there were sophomores, and they turn into juniors, and I'm a sophomore, and those juniors look down on me as if they previously weren't sophomores the year before. I hate that. you know, it's just it's odd, okay? It's very odd. But basically, like I said, this all stemmed from like I said, relationships becoming more prevalent or prominent around sixth grade, okay? And then it just gets more and more and more. But I think that's a lot. Me, I kind of scurried, not even scurried. I made my presence known in school, and I left a mark on people. It's just what I do. I left a mark. There are people still in elementary school. There's people still in middle school. Teachers that still remember me. Even though I've been through changes, they still remember my face. They don't look at the top. They literally just see this, the box. I see an eyelash, hair in my eyelash. Literally just this. This is all they see. They don't see the hair. They don't see the height. I'm quite confident that I don't even see the skin color at this point. They just see the face. My voice could change, which I don't think it has changed recently. But my voice could change and they would still know who I am. That's pretty cool. But I tell you, man, relationships are a heck of a thing. I started making quotes. So I like to make quotes so I can be remembered even more. I want somebody one day to remember me, or I guess one day use my quote. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like famous quotes. Like the quote I made was, I forget, it's on my phone. The quote was, we all take shortcuts, but it's up to you to decide which ones you take. You know what I mean? Basically saying that, we all take shortcuts, but it's up to you, to take, to choose what shortcut you take. And I guess this is not just driving shortcut. This is just like in life, You could, oh look, Main Street is a shortcut, I could take this shortcut, okay, but this could lead me somewhere else, or this could lead me somewhere. It's basically like a game of roulette. You know what I mean? Just letting you know that those shortcuts could lead you into something else. If that makes any sense. But relationships, man. It really, because up to this, maybe up till 6th grade. I mean, I've actually, since middle school, actually had somebody on my mind. I've actually had somebody on my mind since middle school. But they know who they are. And I'm pretty sure you already know. Hint to the co-host of the show. But I had didn't have any true real fascination, you know what I mean? I was just one of those kids that kind of said, I don't actively go out and pursue people today. And I was like, also, hey, it's middle school, I don't focus too much on a relationship. So to me, as I kept telling myself, to me, it wouldn't matter if I you know, got a girlfriend right now. So I, I would be fine, you know what I mean? I wouldn't care. I didn't care. But literally, as things began to progress, it kind of opened my eyes, okay? Because I see people that were like just like me before, and then the next year they have a girlfriend. Next year they have a boyfriend, you know what I mean? And then they look happy. So I don't even know what to call it. I guess the bandwagon, you know what I mean? I wanted to jump on the bandwagon before I, felt left out at the time. You guys should know this, but middle school was my worst school year, but was some of my worst school years. You know what I mean? You know, middle school, you really like that's the stage in the ladder in the pyramid where you kind of set your character up, like character creation. You know what I mean? You kind of elementary school is like the pre-stages of that, the preamble, and then you have middle school where you really begin to mold, where you really begin to develop, your character, your set character for the rest of school. But I've seen people that take full 360s. I've seen people that are nice, bright, and happy. Next thing you know, dark and gloomy, wear all black. And I've seen people that were like in their emo phase for that year, and then next thing you know, they're a whole different person, whole different style. You know what I mean? But as I saw everybody else progress, I felt like I was being left behind. I felt like I was going to be lonely. Fun fact, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not really afraid of too many things in this world, actually. I've had enough time to dwell upon everything else. I had some time to really, think about it. But, I've had some time to, imagine the outcome. But one thing I haven't been able to, imagine, visualize in my head is loneliness, true loneliness. We all know what lonely is. We all know what loneliness is. We've experienced some type of loneliness in our life, if that be prolonged or shortened. But my biggest fear is I don't want to be alone, and That's probably where my fear came from. Actually, middle school, and the fear of being left out, and the fear of not being with somebody. You know what I mean? But for the people that are not dating anybody right now, anybody in the audience at all, my advice to you is take your time. You know what I mean? Heck, date when you get out of school. You know what I mean? or let me rephrase that. When they say don't worry about relationships in middle school, don't worry about relationships in middle school, because people are weird. Everybody in middle school is immature, and everybody, I can say that. Yeah, because the middle schoolers. I was in middle school once. Most people in middle school are like immature and weird. You know what I mean? So I guess the reason why I'm like this is because love was fumbled in middle school, and now I guess had a bad basically it all comes down to having a bad experience with it. So what I'm basically saying is you learn from my mistake and don't rush into it. Like, really, if you really want to start dating, I suggest you start dating when it comes to school, if you want to, like high school, maybe like ninth grade, honestly. Because you need to be mentally prepared for the mental gymnastics that some people will put you through. You need to be prepared for the tears that people might make you shed. You need to be prepared for the waiting. Okay? Because I know middle school me, you wouldn't be ready. I know middle school you wouldn't be ready. You know? At the end of the day, look at us. Look at me. Senior year. Sorry, I'm literally just like filing my nails and cleaning them out. Which is something that is not very cool of me, because you probably hear that in the mic. But I hate having dirt under my nails. It's actually disgusting. And I really, really, really hate it. But, so you guys don't have to hear this. I'm just going to let you guys off. Well, it looks like our time here is almost expired. It looks like our time here is almost expired. I want you to go out and go do something that you enjoy. It's very smoggy outside. Hashtag thanks Canada. Hashtag thanks firefighters. Hashtag you know. But like if you can, I want you to go outside, go do something that you enjoy, because like a nice thin layer of smoke is covering my entire street from here to where I work, all throughout my city. So that's very fun. But anyway, go out and try to do something you enjoy. Go out for a run. Go out to the park. Go do a puzzle. Go play Call of Duty. Go 360 no scope your mother. Because at the end of the day, nobody's more important than you. Okay. Same thing they tell you every single freaking episode. I don't think I've told you guys the last couple of episodes. I think I have. But anywho, I want you guys to do the one thing that I try to tell you at the end of every episode. Do you know what that is? Do you know what that is? Do you? Be good people. Yeah, be good people. Be great people.